Hey everybody, welcome in. It is October 23rd, 2018. What's up? It's the Week 7 recap. Also, our mid-season awards for the halfway through the season. Bloomfield, halfway through the season. Ballsack, however, we have, a small sample size, a think tank of sorts. Came up with some of these names, Weston, Brady, myself, and Travis. Travis really didn't come up with these names. He just, supported at the time, and by no means these will stick forever. I'm obviously going to put these things up to vote, or people can nominate certain names, titles for these awards, and then we can vote on them. These are only just temporary, but for right now, we will just use these names for the time being. But first, let me hop into the Week 7 matchups or the recap. So first off, Tori just destroyed me. I put up 132 points. That was kind of at the lower end this week. Again, 132 isn't terrible. That's usually, pretty decent. 187 is just tough to overcome. For the third time this season, Tori is the high man or high woman of the league. So Tori has made a whopping $15. Way to go, Tori. You are just killing it. Number one team in the league by about 60 points in the points for category. However, Travis did win. So in terms of power rankings, Travis is just a smidge above Tori just because Travis won last week and ended Tori's, undefeated season. Next up, we had Travis and Katie, and this one was going. A lot of matchups were actually going back and forth all day on Sunday. This was determined by Sunday Night Football. Travis had a nice lead heading into Sunday Night Football, and it just kind of carried that way. Harrison Butker just scored points on points, and Katie's AJ Green, had a good game, but not enough. I think she needed like 25 or 26 points in order to win. Either way, Travis gets his 6th win. Katie 2-5. Again, no panic, but we're in a comfortable panic. For anyone that's 2-5, you guys are only 2 games back from playoff contention, but still, you need to win. You need to probably win 6 more games to feel relatively comfortable to get into the playoffs. Maybe 5. 5 is so pretty much everyone need to go 5-1 if you're 2-5 to for sure feel comfortable getting into the playoffs. Next up, we have Weston and CJ. CJ getting the win over Weston by 10 points. Again, just was going back and forth. At one point, Weston was projected to win by 20. Then Matt Breida went down and got negative 0.5 points. That is not fun. Either way, CJ gets his 4th win of the season, now moves into 6th overall. Weston moves back to 9th, 2-5. Again, not too far back from playoff contention. Next up, we have Brady, 3-4, losing to Gabe. 2-5 now, 25-point victory for Gabe. Again, kind of like Katie's situation, Gabe's kind of in a comfortable, anxious situation. You need a nervous. You need to get some wins, but still not out of playoff contention. It can still happen. Next up, we have Jay versus Eli, and Jay and Eli. This was also going back and forth all day, and winning even Monday Night Football. This could have been in Eli's favor. Not every day does your kicker get 23 points, but Odell 28 still did his stuff. But Eli does not get his first win of the season. Now moves to 0-7 in his historic season. Next up, and last but not least, we have Brittany beating Scott by about 40. Brittany had 4 players total 110 points. That's just insane. So, yeah, Brittany's team is pretty good. Heading into the second half of the season, Brittany now 4-3. Only 3 or 4 wins out of just securing a playoff spot. So, going to be a pretty interesting twist as we head down towards the rest of the season, because currently we have 4 teams that have 5 wins, and then a bunch of other teams that are from 2 to 4 wins. So it's a pretty competitive landscape. I'm a little nervous myself, but I feel fine. I mean, I'm in the 4th in the points for. My team puts up points. Not going to be nervous. After this week, Julio, that is my last major player on bye, so I should be fine moving forward. All right, let's hop into these mid-season awards. It, of course, is time to announce this season's Janice, which is the halfway through the season Bloomfield again. Brady Weston and I and Travis somewhat supported this. Janice, obviously, the Sloan was thrown out there. A couple of other ones were. But please, if anyone has any suggestions, please let me know. Happy to abide by it. Or if we're going to, facilitate your suggestions, then we'll vote on them. Not abide by it, but facilitate and vote, and we'll go from there. So this year's Janice, of course, goes to Travis, who is #1 in my opinion in the projection power rankings. However, I would also like to add he has had the easiest schedule so far, and that's not even the craziest part. This isn't the easiest schedule of all time. The easiest schedule of all time was CJ when he ran the table and had like 10 or 11 wins and had set the longest win streak record. But that was before the hashtag 10-player era. But still, Travis's because based off of what I've configured, because when we're comparing later on Eli's to Mick's season, what you have to realize is that the defenses, we've added about 4 to 5 more points per game on average to most defenses, and kickers 4 to 5 more points per game. So we'll do 4 for that, and then the additional flex that adds about 10 to 12 points per team for a player. So we'll say 12 because I think 12 is pretty fair. So that's about 20 right there. That's 20, and then you throw in the 6 points versus the original 4 points for passing touchdown and the passing yards. We'll say that's about 5 more points for quarterbacks that are accruing versus in prior years. That's a 25-point difference. And if you throw that in, because we'll be comparing that to Mick's season, Travis is technically having the easiest season of all time, which would probably put him, compared to CJ's season or compared to previous seasons, at about 105 points per game. Right now it's about 130, which, 130 isn't bad, but right now everyone's scoring a fuck ton of points. And you'll see soon, Eli has the hardest schedule, and you'll see how many points people are scoring against him. And it's about a 40-point swing there. So, but regardless to say, Travis has done an exceptional job. He's no longer my dark horse to win it all, because Travis is one of the favorites to win it. So he was my dark horse beginning of the season, and I think he's one of the favorites now. You can't call him your dark horse. But I will award someone my dark horse to win it, and the dark horse to win the Ballsack. So earning the Ballsack. You earn the Ballsack. You don't win it. You earn it. So yeah. Anyway, that's enough about the Janice. Let's hop into the Gooch. So the Gooch is the mid-season Ballsack, because the Gooch is halfway through to the Ballsack. I think this is a great name. We'll of course vote on it, but the Gooch is fantastic. So of course, Eli is the recipient of the Gooch, and right now Eli's season is pretty historic. So we were wanting to compare his to Mick's. I would also like to say Eli has the hardest schedule, and it's not even close. The hardest schedule of all time, even if you throw in 25 points off of his, he is currently 30 points ahead of the previous all-time record, which was held by Travis last year at 140. So I can just imagine, back then in 2015, 2014, it was probably around 120 to 130 is the range, and Eli is beating that out by about 40 to 50 points. So Eli is by far having the historically hardest season of, I just did a Trump thing, historically hardest season of all time. That's just unbelievable in my eyes. It's just unreal. People are averaging 170 points per game against Eli. That's just insane. So, and not to mention, he is averaging 117 points scoring a game. So there is literally a 50-point difference each week. Eli, and it's shown because Eli has gotten like 5 out of the 7 biggest blowouts of the season, and it's because teams are averaging 50 more points than he. Teams that are playing him are averaging 50 more points than what he's scoring, which is, again, just absurd. So I just, when I was looking at this, I was just like, there's just no way. Like, this is just absurd. Like, not only is Eli having a historically bad season, teams are having a historically great season against Eli. Like, this is just, I don't know. It's incredible. And I'm laughing with Eli on this because it's fantasy football. Like, there's only so much Eli can do here. Like, he traded away Keenan Allen, but he got Golden Tate from Travis for D.D. Westbrook. So, I mean, his trades, it's not like he dropped Keenan Allen or Odell Beckham. Like, it's just the I don't even know. It's just the luck of the draw. So, yeah, so if we want to compare his season to Mick's, oh boy, the least points on average for the season was Mick's, who averaged about 90 points per game, which again, like I was saying, if you throw that in, that 25 point, if you just throw in just the average to our season, you're looking at about like 115 to 120 per game. Just fluctuation, because again, like I said, 4 to 5 for defenses, 10 to 12 for the flex, and 6 to, I would say 6 points, maybe 6 to 8 points for quarterback. Especially right now, quarterbacks are just insane. Eli is averaging 117, so there is a difference of 27 points. So Eli is like 2 points off based off of the shift in terms of averages for total output. And I don't know if there's any way for me to look this up in terms of prior, because Yahoo actually does a terrible job in terms of historical stats in prior seasons. Like, I can't look up team defenses. I only can gauge off of like what they were and what they were now. I mean, like, defenses now aren't as great, so that's also, got to consider that a fact too. But yeah, Eli is basically on pace and around to tie, if not break, Mick's record. I'm assuming when Giants are on their bye, that will be a rough week because there's no Odell. But 117 points per game is close. I mean, if you're going to compare, like I was saying, it's about 115 for Mike. So it's only 2 points off. Again, we're halfway through the season, so we're not going to be crowning Eli by any stretch of the imagination. And I just realized I've been talking about Eli's historic season for about 3 minutes, and I think it's relatively worthy to talk about this for 3 to 4 minutes because this is just insane. And literally anyone can look this up. If you just go into the top of our Yahoo thing on the browser, not the phone, but on the browser, go into the record book and you can peep at this, and it's insane. But yeah, so Eli is the recipient of the Gooch, and I just wanted to go into the depth because I've been in depth on the comparison between Mick's and Eli's season because I've been promising this for quite some time. But it is truly incredible. It really is incredible. And by both stretches. But anyway, it's time for the dark horses. So we'll wrap this up with our dark horses to win it and to earn the Ballsack. And how I'm going to do this for the is you can't be a top 4 team to be at the dark horse for the Bloomfield, and you cannot be a let's see here a top 3. We'll do top 4 team but even no, because the recipient, I just realized the recipient that I'm going to be handing the dark horse to win the Ballsack this year is in the bottom 4. So anyway, drum roll please. My dark horse to win the Bloomfield this year is Brittany. She's currently the 5th seed right now. She's got Gurley, and I think Gurley does great. And I think, in the right situation, she's got Jarvis Landry, she's got Allen Robinson, and she's got Travis Kelce. It's not like she's got an amazing team, but I think she's got a very good team. And I think that with Todd Gurley, just like last year, he can get you 30 or 40 points, and that is just so hard to beat. So Brittany is currently my dark horse to win it halfway through the season, and my dark horse to win the Ballsack, even though it's not really abided by the whole bottom 4. I'll give 2. So I want to give it to Gabe because I feel like this would just be so hilarious for Eli to play Gabe. Eli beat Gabe and Eli avoids the sack completely after his historically quote unquote bad season, and Gabe ends up getting it because I feel like Gabe just makes so many moves, but so does Eli. And then the non-dark horse candidate is, non-bottom 4 candidate is CJ, and I'm hoping for a reaction from CJ here. Blasphemy. And the reason why I say that is because he's currently 4-3, and honestly, his points for it is the weakest out of anyone in the top 10. No, top 9. Katie actually has 13 less points than CJ. CJ has had I think the middle of the road schedule. It's kind of been like a top 6, but he hasn't actually put up that many points. He also has tied for the lowest budget left of the season. So I'm just going to say between those two things, and this video has gone way too long. But again, this is much needed conversation. Yeah, so CJ, 112 points. He's currently, I think, I want to say 1, 2, 3. He is 10th. Yeah, 10th in points for, and he's currently 6th right now. And I haven't looked at his schedule by any stretch of the imagination, but just looking at his Week 8 schedule, CJ does play Eli. So this this could be a preview for this year's Ballsacks. We'll see. But yeah, anyway, that's my dark horse. I mean, again, I think this is kind of a stretch for CJ to get it because he is 6th overall and would really need to go like 2-4 the remaining of the season to actually get it. But anyway, this video's gone too long, and that's it, everybody. Peace out. Have a great rest of your week, and I will be doing the previews tomorrow. Peace out.